Found out that Asians they got a 300-point deduction on standardized tests versus black students. White people got a 100-point deduction on entrance tests in Harvard University versus black students. It's the Students for Fair Admission Supreme Court case that all of you guys should look up. In fact, in practice, we saw it was much easier to get into Harvard as a black student, regardless if your test scores were lower, than a white student, even if your test scores were higher. That is active discrimination against Asian and white people and against everything that we as Americans stand for and that we believe in. That is racism at its core.
You, I hate you.
Yeah. Would you like to have a substantive conversation or?
A substantive? I just think you're a asshole.
Would you like to have a conversation?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like you. I think you spread hate. I think you spread bigotry. I think you piss a lot of people off. I mean, you're just an awful person. I don't think you really want to debate because you're just here to piss people off and energize your crowd of racists.
What have I ever said that's racist?
Oh, what?
Can you name one thing?
I'm Hispanic. Can I support Charlie?
Can you name
Does that mean anything?
Can you name a second thing I've ever said that's racist?
I think you're just trying to play a game, and I think this is obviously going to be used.
What have I ever
favor,
said that's
I just want to
hateful?
hate you. You're awful. Get off my campus.
When have I ever said anything that's hateful? Have a nice day.
I want you to answer me this. How is it that coming up in Chicago, East Garfield, and coming up in Cabrini Green, can you tell me how is it that coming from a city like that and getting to a place where we came from a single parent home to a no parent home? Can you tell me how is it that I was able to get married, which in June I'll be married 24 years. I have a 23-year-old son and a 21-year-old son, got through school, got a degree, went back and got another one. Can you explain to me how systemic racism kept me from doing that?
It doesn't. Systemic racism didn't, because every person can make good decisions and flourish in this country regardless of the color of their skin.
So then how is it that somebody like me did it though? I mean, wait, I'm black. I'm coming up in an oppressed era. So can you tell me how I was able to achieve that?
You tell me.
Well, from what I'm being told, it's because I was lucky.
I mean, it was probably hard work, good decisions, maybe a pastor or a mentor that, gave you good guidance.
So then why is it so hard for everybody else to look like me to understand that?
You ask them.
Trying to.
If you actually want to disprove that America's a racist country, here's how you could do it. Ask any person, a person of color or not, when they say America's a racist country, and say, well, are your interactions with people of an opposite race generally positive or generally negative? And their answer will always be generally positive. Always. I mean, if you ask a black person, like when you interact with white people, whether it be at Uber or a restaurant or anywhere, is it generally positive or generally negative? Or are they, waving a Confederate flag every time you walk in to Pizza Hut? And they'll say, well, no, it's generally positive. Like, okay, of course there's outliers of racism. I mean, it's totally true. I mean, like, racism is a sin, okay? But abolishing sin will never happen. Like, abolishing racism completely, like abolishing murder or abolishing theft, it's utopianism, and it's impossible.